Welcome back, Curious George. Let's talk about your salad's secret weapon. No, not ranch dressing. I'm talking about a molecule that somehow manages to be both the MVP and the intern who keeps hitting reply all. Today on Guess What I Found Out, we're going to discover some facts about Rubisco, the enzyme that literally keeps you alive, but works slower than your internet during a storm. It's like if oxygen had a clumsy, underachieving roommate who eats all the carbon and occasionally mistakes the cat for a roommate. Yeah, that's Rubisco. And hey, if you don't like this video in the next 3 seconds, Rubisco will personally confuse your carbon dioxide with oxygen and ruin your next spinach leaf. You've been warned. Rubisco, short for ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase. Yes, it sounds like a password your dad made up, is the most abundant protein on Earth. Not because it's good, but because it's necessary. It's responsible for turning carbon dioxide into sugar during photosynthesis. It fixes about 115 billion tons of carbon a year. That's fixes in the same way your uncle fixes the plumbing. Slow, confused, and occasionally causes a flood. How slow, you ask? 3 to 10 reactions per second. Other enzymes do thousands. Rubisco is basically the DMV of photosynthesis, a bottleneck with paperwork. Here's the kicker. Rubisco has one job: grab carbon dioxide, but it keeps mistaking oxygen for it. You know, like trying to call your girlfriend and accidentally dialing your boss. This mistake leads to a process called photorespiration. Instead of making sugar, the plant burns energy. Genius. If you're enjoying this glorious dive into molecular disappointment, now's your second chance. Smash that like button like Rubisco smashing the wrong molecule. And subscribe if you want to feel smarter than a multi-billion-year-old protein. So why is Rubisco like this? Blame evolution. It showed up 2.5 to 3.5 billion years ago when oxygen wasn't a thing. It never learned to tell oxygen and carbon dioxide apart because oxygen didn't exist yet. Fast forward a few billion years, surprise, now there's oxygen everywhere and Rubisco is just struggling. It's like giving your grandpa a TikTok account and expecting dance videos. Let's break it down. Photosynthesis has 2 parts. There's the sun part, the one where sunlight gets turned into ATP and NADPH, science speak for plant batteries. And the food part, where Rubisco shows up late and confused. It grabs carbon dioxide, hopefully converts it into glucose, and makes you that banana you left in your car last week. You know the one. Fun fact, the oxygen we breathe is a byproduct of water splitting in photosynthesis. So your next breath is basically plant burps. You're welcome. Scientists are trying to engineer a better Rubisco, faster, smarter, more selective. Because fixing the enzyme that feeds the world might help solve climate change and world hunger. No pressure. Just imagine, super plants with jacked up Rubisco outpacing weeds and feeding millions, all while still being mildly passive-aggressive. If you haven't liked this video by now, Rubisco will haunt your houseplants and make them sigh in molecular exhaustion. So do us all a favor. By the way, the real oxygen MVPs, ocean microbes. They make up to 85% of Earth's oxygen. Land plants are cool, but they're basically trying to be influencers, while plankton quietly does all the work. Photosynthesis isn't perfect, but it's kept us going for 3 billion years. With a few tweaks, and maybe a protein that can tell carbon from oxygen, we might just keep this whole human experiment going a little longer. So next time you eat a salad, thank Rubisco, nature's most overworked, underqualified enzyme. It might be slow and confused, but hey, so are we. Subscribe for more sarcasm, science, and mild existential crises. I've been your molecular tour guide on Guess What I Found Out. You're welcome, Curious George.